Tell me why, baby, why, baby, why, baby, why you make me cry, baby, cry, baby.
You know his voice, but do you know his pen? He wrote songs that launched careers. Songs that went to #1 for somebody else. Some of the biggest names in country music got there on the back of words he wrote. And most fans never knew it. He never talked about it much. That wasn't his way. He just wrote the truth and let other people sing it.
You wanna drive a big limousine? I'll buy the longest one you've ever seen.
Decade after decade, voice after voice, the same man's words, making other people stars. Some of those songs are still on the radio today. You've heard them 100 times. You just never knew who put the words down first. 10 songs, 10 artists, one forgotten songwriter. You're about to find out who. Number 10, You Gotta Be My Baby, George Jones.
Oh, you said you was my baby. Now I know that you're my baby, but it seems to me.
Picture a Texas roadhouse in 1956, sawdust on the floor, a jukebox in the corner, a young man on stage with a guitar and more talent than anybody in the room knows what to do with. That's where this song was born. It's got a rockabilly bounce to it. Quick, confident, a little bit cocky.
Remember how you pleaded when you told me that you needed my love, and I believe it's found.
The kind of song that makes people move without thinking about it. George Jones wrote this one solo during his earliest years on Starday Records in Texas. Came out in the mid-50s when he was still finding his footing as a recording artist.
And I'm a crawling low. I'll get suspicious and I'm gonna tell you.
The song is a straightforward declaration. I want you, you need to be mine, end of story. Simple, direct, country. Multiple artists picked it up over the years because it was just a well-built song that sounded good no matter whose voice was on it. Jones was so prolific in those early Texas years that he was writing songs almost faster than he could record them. He and his childhood friend, Daryl Edwards, would sit together and knock out songs like it was nothing. This one came out of that same creative flood. Jones barely talked about it in later interviews.
If anybody hung around sides me, she gave me no satisfaction.
He had so many songs by then that this one just blended into the pile. Most fans know George Jones the singer. Very few know George Jones the songwriter. This song is the opening chapter of that story. It shows you that even before he became the greatest voice in country music, he was already building something on the page.
Me and tell me so. Well, if you wanna be my baby, then you gotta be.
Pen came first, the fame came later. But the next one didn't just get recorded by somebody else, it ended up in the hands of the man in black himself.
Well, we're not ready. We got a man down. Thank you.
If you grew up with this kind of country music, take a moment to subscribe to Retro Vault. This channel is about keeping these songs and stories alive, and every subscription truly helps the channel grow. It tells YouTube that real country music history still matters and helps these videos reach more people who remember this era. The more support the channel gets, the more stories we can keep bringing you. Number 9, just one more Johnny Cash.
The bottle on the table, let it stay there.
Late Night, Nashville studio, a single microphone. A man who sounds like he's carrying the weight of the whole world in his chest. That's what Johnny Cash brought to this song. It's a barroom confession. One more drink, one more chance, one more reason to keep going when everything says stop. Dark and honest and real.
Here so long, just remembering that you are gone.
George Jones wrote Just One More and recorded it himself first. Then Johnny Cash got hold of it. Cash was at a point in his career where he was drawn to songs that felt lived in and heavy. This one fit him like a glove.
And then another. I'll keep.
Cash's voice, that low train on the track sound, turned a George Jones song into something that felt like it came straight from Cash's own life story. Jones and Cash ran in similar circles in Nashville during this era. They respected each other deeply.
Every day I've been trying.
When Cash recorded a song another artist had written, it was always because something in the lyric grabbed him and wouldn't let go. That's exactly what happened here. Cash heard the truth in it. He had to sing it. When Johnny Cash records your song, that's a stamp of legitimacy that very few songwriters ever receive.
Still on my mind, one drink, just one more.
Most people who love that Cash recording have no idea George Jones put the pen to paper on it. That's the invisible genius of Jones the writer. His fingerprints are everywhere, but his name is nowhere. The next one hit number 2 on the charts, and the man who sang it wasn't George Jones. Number 8, Life to Go, Stonewall Jackson. The next song was recorded by 3 of the biggest names in country music history, and they all went looking for it on their own. Number 7, Seasons of My Heart, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Seasons come, seasons go.
Slow ballad on a Sunday morning. Kind of song that sounds like it came from a church that also serves whiskey. There's something timeless about it. Not flashy, not loud, just deeply and quietly true. The kind of song that makes you stop whatever you're doing and just listen.
The way that it.
Jones co-wrote this with his childhood friend Darrell Edwards and first released it in 1955 as the B-side to his debut hit, Why Baby Why. Most people never even heard it at first. Then Johnny Cash found it and recorded it, and it became a top 10 country hit for Cash in 1960.
Season in my heart.
Willie Nelson recorded it. Jerry Lee Lewis recorded it. 3 completely different artists, 3 completely different sounds, all pulled toward the same early George Jones ballad. The song was originally just the flip side of a single, the B-side, the throwaway, the one nobody was supposed to notice.
Guess what is to be my dear.
That's where it started. The A-side got the attention, the B-side got the legacy. Sometimes the song that changes everything is the one nobody planned on. Cash, Nelson, Lewis. Put those 3 names on anything and you have a Hall of Fame moment.
Well, bring all.
The fact that all 3 found their way to the same George Jones song independently across different decades tells you something important. Great songs don't need to be promoted, they find people, and this one found 3 of the greatest.
Like withered leaves.
The next song was so good that someone else took it to number 1 before Jones's own version could get there. Number 6, Why Baby Why, Red Sovine and Webb Pierce.
Tell me why, baby, why you make me cry, baby.
A Cajun dance number trying to break free from a honky-tonk song. That's how one music historian described it, and he was exactly right. It moves, it bounces. It has this irresistible pull that makes you want to tap your foot, even when the lyrics are talking about heartache.
Well, I got a crow I want to pick with you.
George Jones wrote something that felt joyful and painful at the same time. That's a very hard thing to do. Jones co-wrote Why Baby Why with Darrell Edwards and released it in 1955 on Starday Records, a small regional Texas label with almost no national distribution.
I can't live without you when you know it's true, but there's no limit.
It started climbing the country charts. Then Red Sovine and Webb Pierce recorded it. Their version hit number 1. Jones's original version peaked lower simply because his label couldn't get the record into enough stores fast enough. His own song beat him to the top of the chart in someone else's hands.
Tell me why, baby, why you make me cry, baby.
Charlie Pride later took it to number 1 in 1983. Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson recorded it as a duet. Jones recorded the backing vocal on the original himself, using some innovative studio techniques from engineer Bill Quinn after the singer originally planned for the backing part didn't show up. Jones just did it himself. That kind of improvisation in the studio was typical of him. He figured it out and moved on. Think about what happened here. Jones writes his very first hit. It goes to number 1 for somebody else. His label was too small to compete.
Tell me why, baby, why.
His song was too good to ignore, so other people cashed in while he watched. That story right there is the story of George Jones, the songwriter, in one perfect, painful example. The next one crossed an ocean. A punk rocker from London flew to Nashville just to chase it down. Number 5, Color of the Blue, making a pure country record felt strange to some, but Cheryl understood immediately. He knew that great songs belong to whoever sings them best in the moment. Costello sang these songs like he meant every word.
The color of the blue.
When an artist from a completely different song written in 1960 became a chart-topping hit in 1975, 15 years apart.
You must have thought that I was asleep.
George Jones himself called this his greatest composition, not He Stopped Loving Her Today, not the Grand Tour, this one. The simple, honest, devastating story of a man watching love walk away through a window. Jones knew what he had when he wrote it. He just didn't know it would keep giving for 15 more years after he first recorded it.
Oh, you and the way your heart.
15 years is a long time for a song to wait. Most songs that don't go to #1 on the first try just disappear. This one waited, then it found Mickey Gilley, then it found #1. That's a song with a life of its own, and George Jones gave it that life the moment he put it on paper.
Like a cloud. I was wrong.
The next one is the story of 3 international stars, all chasing the same Jones record in the same 12 months. Number 3, Walk Through This World With Me, Nancy Sinatra.
Walk through this world with me.
This one feels like a sunrise, not a heartbreak, not a barroom confession, just a man asking the woman he loves to walk beside him. Gentle, hopeful. The kind of song that reminds you why people fall in love. Jones almost didn't record it. His producer had to push him. He thought it was too soft.
With me, I need.
He recorded it anyway, and it went to #1. Then Nancy Sinatra, Engelbert Humperdinck, and Tammy Wynette all covered it in the same year. 3 international stars chasing one George Jones record. That doesn't happen by accident. Here's what most people don't know.
And some of us find.
When 3 major artists all recorded this song at once, the publishing money should have been life-changing for the writers. The contracts in 1960s Nashville weren't built to protect the little guy. Some people say the royalties didn't flow the way they should have.
And now that
The song became a global moment. Everyone who built it got paid like it was. Country music has always had 2 sides. What you hear on the radio, honest and real. And what happens in the back rooms, contracts, handshakes, and decisions that most artists never even saw coming. The song was perfect. The business around it was not.
come take my hand.
The next song gave Alan Jackson a #1 hit in 1995, and George Jones had almost forgotten he wrote it. Number 2, Tall, Tall Trees, Alan Jackson.
If you want to drive a big limousine, I'll buy the longest one you...
And 2 Young Men, Texas, 1957. One of them will become the greatest country singer of all time. The other will become the king of clever, wordplay-filled country music. They sit together and write a song. Fast, fun, full of that Cajun bounce that makes your foot move before your brain catches up.
Well, I'll give it my utmost attention. I'll buy you...
Neither of them has any idea what they just wrote. George Jones and Roger Miller co-wrote Tall, Tall Trees in 1957 when they were both just starting out. Jones recorded it as the B-side to a single. It sat there for decades.
Take a while, but I'll prove it's true. Well, if it's loving you want, well, I've got it.
Then Alan Jackson was putting together his greatest hits collection in 1995 and went looking for something fun to cut. He found a Roger Miller song he loved and recorded it. Came out as a single and went straight to #1, Jackson's 12th #1 hit on the Billboard Country chart. Then somebody checked the writing credits. George Jones was on there. Jackson said he thinks George had even forgotten he'd written it. Alan Jackson wrote in the liner notes of his greatest hits album, "After I recorded it, we found out that George Jones is a co-writer. I think George had even forgotten he'd written it." Proud to have the chance to record a song written by 2 of my favorites. That quote says everything. Jones wrote a #1 hit in 1957, forgot about it, and collected a royalty check in 1995. That is the songwriter's life in its most beautiful, absurd, perfect form.
I'll travel anywhere you take it, no I'll buy you.
Almost 40 years passed between when Jones wrote that song and when it went to #1. 40 years. Most songs don't survive 40 minutes after they leave the studio. This one survived 40 years because it was built right. That's what real craft does. It outlasts everything, including the writer's own memory.
My utmost attention. I'll buy you tall, tall trees and all the water.
And now, #1, the writing credit that kept coming back no matter how much time passed.
Well, we're not ready. We got a man down. Thank you.
If you grew up with this kind of country music, take a moment to subscribe to Retro Vault. This channel is about keeping these songs and stories alive, and every subscription truly helps the channel grow. It tells YouTube that real country music history still matters and helps these videos reach more people who remember this era. The more support the channel gets, the more stories we can keep bringing you. #1, Tender Years Statler Brothers.
You keep saying you love him, I believe.
Quiet Still. The kind of song you hear late at night when the house is empty and you're sitting with your own thoughts. There's no performance in it, no showmanship. Just a pure, honest declaration of love so deep that it sounds like it was carved into something permanent.
But in time you'll understand.
That's what George Jones and Darrell Edwards built when they wrote Tender Years. Tender Years became George Jones's second #1 hit on the country chart. He co-wrote it with his longtime collaborator Darrell Edwards. What makes it #1 on this list isn't what it did for Jones.
Tender years.
It's what it did for everyone who came after. The song has been returned to by artists across multiple decades because what it describes, a love so complete it defines everything, never gets old. It was a hit in 1961. It still sounds like it was written last week.
Will it stay there? Will that love light grow?
Jones and Edwards had a natural songwriting partnership built on a friendship that went back to their childhood in East Texas. Edwards had grown up just across the road from Jones. After a stint in the Coast Guard, he tracked Jones down after a show in Beaumont, showed him some poems he'd been writing, and a songwriting partnership was born.
It's true, 'cause you're living in your...
Tender Years came out of that friendship. Two boys from East Texas who grew up poor and turned their feelings into music that outlasted them both. George Jones, the singer, will always be remembered. He stopped loving her today. The Grand Tour.
Wait and be your last, I'll be somewhere.
He Stopped Loving Her Today might be the greatest country song ever recorded. But George Jones, the songwriter, the man who sat in a room with a friend from childhood and put words on paper that other people couldn't stop singing, that man deserves to be remembered too.
Love you with a love that's sincere.
Tender Years is the proof. A #1 hit he wrote himself, recorded across generations, still finding new voices to carry it forward. That's a legacy that goes beyond the microphone. And that is the story. 10 songs, 10 moments.
And you'll know that I love you.
One man's pen behind all of it. He didn't just sing country music. He built part of the foundation it stands on. And most people never even knew his name was on the blueprint.